Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I filmed a little tutorial how to talk through tips, I don't know what you want to call it, but on how to avoid cakey makeup. I gave you my holy grail tips on how I like to make sure my face looks nice and dewy and glowy and not cakey and just nice. So if you want to know how I do that, just keep on watching. But before I let you watch that, remember to like, comment and subscribe if you are new here. Turn on my little post notification bell as well so you don't miss any of my uploads, and also all my social medias are in the description box, so feel free to follow me on those. But yeah, a lot of you guys have asked me questions on my foundation and stuff like that, so I thought I'd just do a little video on how I like to make sure that it's not cakey. My skin does look beat today, to be fair though. These are what I use on an everyday basis just to make sure my skin looks nice and glowy and dewy. Let me know what you guys think. Obviously, if you have a different way that you like to do your skin, let me know in the comments, because I love learning new tips and tricks. But this is what I found works best for me over the years, what I've found makes my face look cakey and what doesn't. So this is what I do now. But yeah, if you want to know how to, just keep on watching. Enough of me rambling on about my skin. I love you guys so much. Have an amazing rest of the day, rest of the week, rest of the year, wherever you may be in the world, and I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys. Mwah. Yeah guys, so as I said in the intro, I'm just going to be showing you my favorite tricks on how to avoid cakey makeup. So let's just jump straight into it. And to start off with, I would say you need to make sure that your skin is clean before putting anything on it. Just make sure you have a nice even canvas. So I just like to take some micellar water. This is the Garnier one. I've been using this for years and years, and I love it so much. Yeah, so I just take some of this on a cotton pad. I just put a little bit on there and just go all over my face. I haven't got any makeup on, at least I don't think I have any makeup on, but I do have some mascara, because as you guys can see, even though I don't think I have any makeup on, it's still coming up a little bit. Just gotta make sure we're working on a nice clean canvas. I don't tend to cleanse, tone, all that stuff. I just put a little bit of cleanser on, well, micellar water. It's nice and quick and easy. So yeah, that's 100% my first tip, is to make sure you're applying it onto a clean base. So getting yourself a little micellar water like this will really help with that. Also, by the way, make sure your hands are clean before doing this. I put some hand sanitizer on, made sure they were nice and clean. Just a little tip. So yeah, now you just want to go ahead and moisturize your skin. Moisturizers depend on what skin type you have. Obviously, I have quite normal skin. It's not really dry, it's not really oily, so I can get away with any type of moisturizer. But I like to make sure I have a nice amount of moisture on my skin, because that's what really helps stopping your makeup go cakey. So making sure you have moisturizer on. Obviously, if you have oily skin, you don't want to take a really heavy duty moisturizer. Oily skin, this one would actually work really well. This is the Glam Glow Volcasmic Matte Glow Moisturizer. Yeah, that's just what it looks like. I've also got another one by Glam Glow, but I've been really liking this one at the moment, so I'm gonna go in with this one. It's really light and you can't really feel it on your skin. It's like one of those moisturizing balms. These work really well if you have oily skin. If you have dry skin, you might want a bit of a more heavy duty moisturizer, but I would say avoid moisturizer lotions, because they can separate your makeup a little bit, and that is what I hate, is when products separate my makeup. But yeah, this one just smooths your skin, and even if you have oily skin, you still want to apply a moisturizer on, because I've done makeup on my friends with oily skin and I still apply some sort of hydrating product underneath, because you want your whole base to be even, because when you have oily skin, you might have more oils in the T-zone area here and then less on the outer part, and you want it to be the same moisture content throughout to make sure that the foundation applies evenly. So that will help do that. Okay, so now for primers. This is a big one. You guys probably know I'm super picky with primers. This is the only one I swear by, the Too Faced Hangover X. This is my baby. Honestly, this is the only primer I will ever use if I'm using primer. Personally, I think setting your makeup makes more of an effect than primer in terms of longevity of your makeup. In terms of applying your makeup more evenly, I don't think it makes that big of an effect, primer, personally, in my opinion. I always like to go for a moisturizing primer to avoid cakey makeup, because cakey makeup happens when there's dry parts to your skin. You can see the flakiness through it, and I think that is what really makes your makeup look heavy. So I always like to make sure my base is nicely moisturized, which is why I tend to stay away from silicone primers. Even the Professional by Benefit, I try to stay away from it because it does dry out my skin. Also, when I do apply primers, I like to apply it all over my face rather than just in the T-zone area, because as I said, I like to make sure that I have the same products all over my face. Yeah, I like to do that just because, say silicone primers, they're slippery. So if you just apply it in the T-zone, your makeup isn't going to stick as well there, but then it's going to stick well on the rest of your face. So it won't apply that evenly, in my opinion. That's how it happens with me. So if I do use primer, it'll be a moisturizing one like this, and it will go all over my face. Obviously, if you do have oily skin, you don't want to put too much moisturizer on, so you could use like one of those mattifying primers, but I would say just like apply it a light layer all over your skin to make sure that it applies evenly. I'm going to put a couple pumps of this on the back of my hand. I don't wear primer every day, as I said, but if I do, this is the only one I will use. Some really good products to use if you don't want to use primer are those like Fix Plus sprays. So I will use Fix Plus. I also do really like the one from the Hangover X collection again. It's really good. It makes your makeup look really dewy, and it works as priming spray and setting spray. So if you can't really be bothered for a primer, this does help your makeup last a little bit if that's what you want to use primer for. In terms of cakiness, I think primers can sometimes build up on your skin and sort of make your makeup look more cakey rather than less. So just be careful and find what primers work for your skin. Obviously it's different for everyone, so when you know what primer works for you, that's gonna be your God save hun. Another good product is strobe cream. Just helps to hydrate your skin as well. You want to make sure your base is hydrated before any foundation and powder goes on top, because it will dry out your skin or make it look matte. So if you want a dewy and glowy look, you need to make sure that's coming from underneath your foundation. Something like strobe cream will really help with that. So I might actually apply a little bit of strobe cream. Yeah, and one thing I like to do with my skin before putting foundation on is I like to feel it, and it's like tacky. I don't know if you guys can see, but it is like tacky. So that means that all the makeup will just stick to my face really well, which I like because that means it's not going to move anywhere. So I feel like once you have this on your skin, like a sort of dewy, glowy kind of thing going on, your foundation is ready, for me at least. So it's not really about how you apply your foundation that's going to stop it being cakey. It's about how you apply your base products underneath and how you apply your powder. So I'm just going to go in with my foundation. This is the Make Up For Ever Ultra HD. Mine's in the shade White 365 because I've got a bit of tan on at the moment. And then I'm going to mix in some of the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation. I'm just putting this all over my skin. I think some people think that if you apply too much it will look cakey, which yes, obviously it will, but if you blend it in nicely to your skin, like I'm applying so much foundation right now, it's not going to look cakey. So I think one of the main like misconceptions is that if you apply too much it will look cakey. Obviously if you apply like 20 layers it will look cakey. If you prep your skin nicely, you can sort of get away with applying a lot of foundation, and I personally like a lot of foundation because I just think it makes your skin look plastic, which I like the look of personally. Obviously it's not for everyone. What I'm trying to show you guys in this video is how I like to get full coverage but without it being cakey. What I get a lot is it doesn't even look like you're wearing powder, and it's just because of the way I apply my products underneath my foundation and my powder as well. So I'm just blending that in with a Morphe Y6, and then I'll go over the top of it with a beauty blender. That's my best tip, is to use a brush first and then go over it with a beauty blender, because I think a brush does things a beauty blender can't do, and a beauty blender does things a brush can't do. And also guys, if some of you get separation in your foundation on your nose, I get that as well. Like when I first started applying foundation, I was like, it just looks cakey and horrible around my nose. Make sure you've used the right moisturizer and that won't happen, trust me. And then you don't want to blend over it too much, just like lightly go over it, because when you start messing around with it, it just won't look good. Going with the beauty blender. Now that that's on, I'm going to apply my concealer. I'm going in with MAC Pro Longwear. This doesn't crease because it's an oil-free concealer. With concealers, I tend to find thick concealers make your foundation look cakey, obviously. So you want to go for a light, sort of really liquidy concealer. As you guys can see, that's what Pro Longwear is. Like if I tap my beauty blender and it's super lightweight and it's not very thick. So I'm just going to apply this under my eyes. And then I also wanted to show you guys other amazing concealer that I have, which is the NARS Soft Matte Concealer, which I've showed you guys a million times. This one's in the shade Custard. I'm going to apply a little bit of this. This is a cream concealer and it's super full coverage, so just use a little bit of it. But yeah, it doesn't cake up in my opinion. You need to be careful when using full coverage concealers because they can look heavy under your eyes. I tend to find Pro Longwear doesn't look heavy, and same with this NARS concealer. It's like in the full coverage concealers, like the IT Cosmetics one. It's super full coverage, but you need to be careful with it because it can cake up quite easily just because of how thick it is. Those are the kind of concealers you need to look out for. Tarte Shape Tape you'll be fine with because it's sort of in between like a thin concealer and one of those thick ones. Like it's not super thick, but it does have a bit of thickness to it. I'm gonna go ahead and set my face. The powder I find at the moment that really helps to stop my makeup looking heavy and cakey on my skin is actually the Too Faced Born This Way powder. I'm using so much Too Faced in this video, so I'm gonna go ahead, make sure my under eyes are blended out before applying this, and then just dunk my beauty blender into it and apply it under my eyes. You need to make sure you set your under eyes because otherwise they will crease when you've applied as much product under them as we have. I might apply a little bit more just to make sure that it's not gonna crease, but I'm not gonna do like a full-on heavy bake. I might just do a light bake. So yeah, and then I'm also gonna do the same in my smile lines because those crease really badly on me. And then I'm gonna go ahead and set my nose and forehead. And I'm just taking this on a beauty blender. Taking your powder onto a beauty blender and pressing it into the skin is what is really gonna give it that natural effect and just not make it look cakey, basically. I'm not sure if you guys can see my forehead. I'm not sure if it's in focus or not, but it just looks super airbrushed. It doesn't need to be overly set, just make sure that the powder is pressed in. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with this Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in the shade. It has come off the back, as you guys can see, but this is what it looks like. And if I open it up, oh my god, I can't open it. There we go. This is what it looks like inside. It's one of my favorite bronzers because it's not overly pigmented, but it has got pigment in it, and it's also got a tiny bit of a reflex to it, but not anything too much. So I'm gonna apply this on a Morphe M530 brush and just swirl it in there, and then tap off the excess and just go in with a light hand. And I like to hold my brush at the bottom just to let the brush do all the work. Only lightly set the foundation, so it's not gonna be completely locked into place, so you want to be careful not to make it come up. So just be careful and super light-handed when you apply this, and then also blend it up into the hairline. If you can hear my air conditioner, I'm sorry, it's super hot in England at the moment, so I'm not about to be sitting in my room in the scorching heat with my ring light on. Not today, Satan. Not today. And also sorry for my hair, I did these braids like 2 days ago and still haven't taken them out yet. Disgusting, I know, but oh well. Just keep applying it in little layers because it's easier to build than to take away with makeup. That's always the rule. Yeah, if you apply it light-handedly, then you can build it up, but if you apply it super heavy-handedly, then it will just look cakey and heavy and manky, so you don't want to do that. Okay, so I'm also going to run a little bit of that bronzer shade actually just through the crease of my eye. So I'm just going to lightly blend that through. I'm not really going to do a dramatic eye look today, just gonna be natural. So yeah, that's what I like to do when I'm just doing natural makeup, just a little bronzer through the crease and call it a day. Now I'm just gonna highlight with my Anastasia Dream Glow Kit, and I'm gonna go in with the shade Sunshine, which is this one right here. And I'm gonna spray my brush with some of that Too Faced spray and then just go onto my cheekbone. I like to apply a lot of highlight, which may not be for everyone, but you know, I like it. So that is beautiful though. Can we just like embrace that? I'm not really the kind of girl to say how to stop highlight looking cakey because everyone probably thinks my highlight looks cakey, but I like it, so you know. And you want to apply this on the high points of your cheekbones. You don't want to take it too high, and a lot of people don't like to take it here because that's when they think it starts to look cakey, but I like to because I don't know, I think it looks cute. Also, yeah, if you guys have a lot of skin texture, you might want to apply a highlight that's less intense than this. Obviously, we don't care about your skin texture being seen because personally I don't think there's anything wrong with skin texture, but a lot of people do get insecure about it. So if you don't want it to be seen, use one that's less blinding because it will enhance your skin texture to sort of like make it pop out a little bit more. But my skin is quite smooth, so I can sort of apply my highlight wherever I kind of feel like it, which I am very lucky for and very grateful for. But if you do have skin texture, watch out for that. That's basically it for the face. I'm gonna go ahead and do my eyebrows off of camera and then I'll be back with you guys. Actually, that's a lie. Setting spray is so important. Find a good one. Fix Plus avoids cakey makeup. This one is amazing in my opinion. Makes your skin look super dewy, this one. The all-nighter one will make it last if you want that. And there's also oil control ones. If you do have oily skin, then that will help you. But this is my favorite one and it really helps the powder set into your skin. So top tip, use a setting spray to avoid cakey makeup. And then let it dry. Yeah, so now I'm gonna go ahead, do my eyebrows and everything, and I'll be back with you guys. Okay guys, so I just went ahead and finished off my face off of camera. But yeah, that'll be it for today's video. So I really hope you guys did enjoy my tips. Let me know your holy grail things on how to avoid cakey makeup. But yeah, other than that, that is it for today's video. So if you did enjoy, remember to like, comment, and subscribe if you are new here. And do remember to turn on my little post notification bell as well, so that way you don't miss any of my uploads. This is crooked, love that. Also remember to follow me on all my social medias down below. They're all linked in the description box, so if you want to check out any of those, please do feel free. Yeah, other than that, that is it for today's video. But I hope this video helped you guys out a little bit because a lot of you ask me about my foundation and stuff, so I just thought I would do a whole in-depth video. I did one on it absolutely ages ago, but it was more like awful. Like all my old videos are awful. Other than that, that'll be it for today's video. So I love you guys so much, and I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, rest of the week, rest of the year, wherever you may be in the world, and I love you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys, love you. Mwah.